This episode of History Saver is brought to you by Addressing Gettysburg. Addressing Gettysburg is a podcast that shares great experiences, quality programs, awesome guests, and is a welcoming community for all who love Gettysburg. So join in with host Matt Callery and find out why Addressing Gettysburg is one of the top-rated podcasts online today. You can find them on Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, CastBox, Podbean, Google Podcasts, TuneIn, and on Instagram, Facebook, and of course, right here on YouTube. So check out Addressing Gettysburg today, where history is not boring. Thank you to Addressing Gettysburg for sponsoring this video.
You're listening to Addressing Gettysburg.
So it's December 1861 and you're a Native American in Oklahoma. You could be Creek, you could be Cherokee, you could be Choctaw. It doesn't really matter what Native American type you are or indigenous person you are. You're faced with adversity. Not only have you been removed several years earlier here to Oklahoma and Indian Territory, but now you're faced with the American Civil War. The nation is divided. Oklahoma is still unclaimed Indian Territory. It's not either Confederate nor Union, and you're faced with a challenge here of choosing what side of this war to actually be on. That's going to bring us here to the Trail of Blood on Ice. It is one of the lesser known campaigns of the American Civil War. It is often forgotten about. And in this episode, I'm hoping to introduce you to this campaign just a little bit and give you a rare glimpse into a couple of battles here that no one, and I mean hardly anyone, unless you're a major Civil War buff, knows about. As you can see behind me, well, there's a road, there's houses. It doesn't look like much is here, but let me turn you around. There's not really too much here. December 1861, you got Chief Opaliahola. He is a Creek chief. He is loyal to the Union cause, and he is going to be here with loyal Creeks and Cherokees, and they're en route to Kansas. They're trying to go north, and they have about 2,000 to 2,500 of them with them. So they follow a place called Round Mountain on November the 19th, just about a month before this action on December the 9th, a little less. So November 19th, 1861, they fight at Round Mountain, and then that's going to bring us to this place. We're along Burr Creek, which is just in the wood line you see in the distance behind this house, and this is a horseshoe of a creek. Very reminiscent of the 1813 Creek War battle at Horseshoe Bend in Alabama. The site looks eerily similar. So what's going to happen where this house is now and all of these buildings, and you got a random marker here, that's because in this spot on December the 9th, 1861, between 1,500 Texas and Indian cavalrymen up under the command of Confederate Colonel D.H. Cooper are going to struggle around a log house here near the tip of this Horseshoe Bend and Burr Creek West. And this is also going by a few different names in this battle, also called Caving Banks. It has also been referred to as Little High Shoals, and it has also been referred to as the Battle of Horseshoe Bend. Again, reminiscent of the 1813 struggle in Alabama. So what's going to happen on this point is that you're going to have Opaliahola. He's going to have around 2,000 to 2,500 individuals with him. The majority of these people are not soldiers. They're women and children, and then the soldiers and the men who are sympathetic to the Union cause. Now, it is thought that the Confederacy wanted to enslave them as well. But, that is to be debated. We don't know if that is the actual truth. I mean, you got to think about it. Mindsets at this time, there were a lot of rumors going around. This is war. So, nevertheless, the Confederates fielded 1,300 soldiers in this location. In addition, they had 2 Cherokee regiments as well. Now, Cooper attacked mid-afternoon on December 9th, and about dusk, a Texas cavalry squadron outflanked on this bend, while the 1st Regiment of Choctaw and Chickasaw Mounted Rifles would penetrate its center. Now, Cooper didn't have enough ammunition to eradicate the defended refugees as they fled towards the state of Kansas. Cooper ended up suffering only 52 casualties and had some desertions. And then Colonel Drew's 1st Cherokee Mounted Rifles was also in this mix. Opothleyahole lost an estimated 150 to 300 dead wounded. And there were many non-combatants who were also killed and wounded. And it is believed that a lot of the bodies of those who perished here are still buried somewhere here. They still remain. So this is private property, so we're not going past this marker. But I wanted to show you the battlefield and this marker here, because this is really cool. So it's just not places across America you can find stuff like this. This is a monument I have wanted to see for over 10 years. And it's just randomly in the front yard of a home here on private property. But you can come and see this monument. Just don't trespass on private property. But what we're going to do now is I'm going to see if I can't get on the other side of this creek, of Bird Creek, and maybe see it from a different aspect. And maybe there's some more markers and something there marking this battle. So let's continue this, as you'll see me in just a second, but I'm gonna go over here and see if I can't find another visual interpretation of this interesting battlefield and the start of this interesting campaign, which lasted only, well, it's documented only 3 battles, but this is one of the main battles that's known of it, and then Round Mountain and another as well. So let's go on and see what we can find. Okay, so I'm going to say that I'm not supposed to be here. I looked it up on a map. There's supposedly a cemetery back here, but I'm not going to make it to it. But we are on the other side of Bird Creek. I'm going to try to get the drone up in the air somewhere to give you a bird's eye view of this place. I just don't think it's going to be here, but I have a good idea where to do it. But let me show you what's going on. So I'm in the truck, yes I know, but this is what's going on right now. They are cutting timber out of here, and honestly, I don't think I'm gonna be able to find it, because the way I'm supposed to go, well, this is a little off-road here for me, and I'm taking a chance just even coming back here, but I don't think I'm supposed to be here. So, but this is the area of where the attack is going to take place, and these are where the graves are, somewhere out here. And this just goes to show you what the work that the American Battlefield Trust. This shows you why that work is so important, because this site is not totally lost to history, but it very well could be one day. So let me get out of here before I go to jail. Okay, so now we have moved to the second battle spot here of the Trail of Blood on Ice for the 1861 campaign during the American Civil War. And this is pretty bittersweet for me, because, well, I can't see Round Mountain, but I have saw the other 2 sites of this Trail of Blood on Ice campaign that's little known about, and as you can see, well, it's not exactly protected. So let's look here at the marker that they do have, though. So this is the marker here for the Battle of Chestanala, and this says this site 3.5 miles northwest is where Colonel Jason McIntosh, 2nd Arkansas Mounted Rifles, routed loyal Union Indian forces December 26, 1861. The battle opened with fire from the Indian line on Patriots Hill, 2 miles southwest. The loyal Union Indians finally fled to Kansas. So this is going to be right after the actions of the battle that we just were on Bird Creek. And this is going to be literally the day after Christmas. And you can see the hill in the distance if you just peer over the tree line there, if you can see it on camera. This is going to be in some of that action. Now, why is this campaign called Trail of Blood on Ice? Because this is going to occur in a very brutal winter in 1861. This is a very brutal winter. The winter is taking lives, and then these battles are as well as Union loyalists, both tribal and non-tribal, are trying to go to Kansas. They're trying to escape to Kansas, where they can find sanctuary within the Union, and they are being attacked here. Now, this is a civil war between the people. All these tribes are at civil war within the Civil War against one another. Beliefs are different. Families are turning their back on families. And all of this is just adding fuel to the fire of what's happening here. There's a lot more of beliefs that are taking place in the fields you're looking at than Union or Confederate sides of things, or slavery or non-slavery. There's a lot more to that going on. The Confederate Native Americans, well, of course they don't want to support the federal government. They've been removed from their homes earlier in the 1800s. So a lot of them do not like the federal government, and then some of them think that, you know, with the federal government, that's going to be a better way of life, and it's going to be the way the tribe survives. So it's really a battle against brother, father, sister. I mean, it's a very, very rough situation. And just walking here, look at there. I don't think I have to explain to you guys what that is. So yeah, this is why the American Battlefield Trust exists, guys. Is to help protect battle sites like this. And yeah. So this campaign for Blood on Ice is something that's interested me for a very long time. Growing up where I live in Alabama, this is it's definitely something cool for me to see, because this is a piece of Civil War history that is not thought about, not mentioned hardly. It's almost forgotten. So I know I did a lot of rambling in this episode, but I'm just trying to get across to you guys the importance of the Trail on Blood on Ice campaign here in the West, and even overall in the American Civil War. You know, for these people, it's a fight of beliefs. It's a fight of, you know, what was wrong with them so many years ago, and it's a fight of what's going to give them a better life in the future. There's a lot going on here. And well, Oklahoma during the war and Indian Territory, what it was then, is an extremely interesting place to study when it's pertaining to the American Civil War, because there's just so much going on here with so many people affected. And this state, or the territory at the time, not being pro-Confederate or pro-Union one way or another, it was really split in itself. So there was a civil war going on within the Civil War. So check out some more of the Blood on Ice campaign of 1861. Even though it was just a few battles long, it really continued to Honey Springs. Yeah, this has been a privilege, and so cool to be able to see these places for myself. Well, until the next episode, guys, thank you so much for joining me. Let's get back in this big rig and head to the next location. Guys, I just want to thank you for watching the channel, for sticking with the channel, and for subscribing. And if you haven't already, if you're new here, welcome. Please subscribe, and we will see you on the next episode here on History Saver as we continue to tour history across America. See you soon.